I'm looking forward to talking with Don King. He is a charismatic man, very controversial, and probably one of the world's premier promoters of sports events and entertainment. He's a man responsible for bringing us, if you remember, Thriller in Manila, the Rumble in the Jungle, and the 1984 Michael Jackson tour. And his next event is called Vindication in Las Vegas. Still love those names? It's a rematch between Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks, which takes place April 19th at the Hilton Hotel in Las Vegas. This is first time on The Tonight Show. Would you welcome Mr. Don King? Good to see you.
Oh, I'm delighted to be here. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to finally have you here. It's been a long time.
Yes, it has, John.
We don't know each other well. We have talked a couple of times, passed in the halls, and seen you in a couple of restaurants.
Yes, but we're both true Americans.
True Americans.
Yes.
Now,
only in America could a Don King happen.
I've got to do something I've been waiting to do for a long time. Would you just stay right there?
All right. Johnny Carson, y'all.
Now, let me ask you something. Now, be truthful with me. If you saw me walking into a restaurant, walking down the street, you saw this hairdo, what would you say?
So you were truly a man of God.
It's the most beautiful hairdo I've ever seen, right?
Is beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Each hair standing straight up there, pristine and beautiful.
I could not resist that.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah. Now, you've worn your hair like this not all your life, right?
No. You know, in 1971, after a very traumatic, excruciatingly painful situation, I went to bed one evening.
Yeah.
And my hair was kinky like any other blacks, curly, right to the scalp. And it began to pop up. I had a rumbling in my head and began to pop up, ping, 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 ping. And each one of your hairs stand up there pristine and beautiful.
Yeah.
Just like you see it now. No mousse.
Yeah.
No artificial preparation. And it just stands up there like that. And it got me, you know, I didn't know what had happened, so I was excited about it. I'm going to tell you the truth because everybody else don't know, but I'm telling you like it is.
Now, you're not putting me on.
This is the truth.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out. So being a religious man, I thought about it like Samson and Delilah. You know, he put the Lord put the strength in Samson's hair.
Right.
All right, so I felt there was an aura from God.
Yeah.
You consider yourself to be a religious man?
You know, and it's been that way ever since. I tried to go get a haircut one day, and I got electric shocks from the scissors and got migraine headaches, so I had to let them alone. In 10, 15 years, I ain't had a haircut.
Yeah. And it just, does it come down at night, or just...
You know what it does? It goes up into a cone. You know, even when I get into the shower and it's matted down wet, it pops right back up.
It does, huh?
It's a mystery, man.
Okay. I'll go with you if you say so.
Big Ed, my man.
You have been called probably one of the most successful promoters or businessmen. Does it bother you when people say one of the most successful, quote, black businessmen? Why don't they just say one of the most successful businessmen? So,
who incidentally happens to be black.
Who happens to be black.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. How did you get into the promotion game? I know you used to caddy, you used to do a lot of different things. What are some of the odd jobs you've had in your life?
Well, I've had them all. I've caddied, I've been a busboy, a waiter, you know, all of the menial jobs that
come from Cleveland originally?
From Cleveland, Ohio, the best location in the nation. Great city out there, you know.
Let me know, what other jobs have you had growing up?
yes, Cleveland. Let's see if Cleveland.
And you have done some of the great promotions of all times.
Yes, I have. I'm very thankful for that. I had an opportunity to work with the legend himself, Muhammad Ali, in helping a black hospital in 1972 that was closing its doors. It was called Forest City Hospital.
Right.
So I launched a fundraiser, so to speak, and it was a sensational, it was a smash.
Yeah.
And so Ali prevailed upon me to go into a boxing promotion, and I ended up in the promoting
field. That's right.
Field.
That's the first time, and then from then you got involved with the Joe Frazier Ali fight, right?
Yeah, the Thriller in Manila.
Thriller in Manila. Now, the other one was the Rumble in the Jungle.
That was the first one when he won the title back from George Foreman.
Right.
In 1974.
Right. Now you've got Vindication in Las Vegas coming up.
Oh, that's going to be great. You know, Baron Hilton was talking to me. You know, he's a great guy, Baron Hilton.
Yeah.
And his genius really came to the fore when he appointed a dynamic guy named John Giovanco, who's the new thrust in the Hilton Hotel. Now, you know, that's #1 in casino gambling in hotels.
I didn't know that.
Well, I'm going to let you know that, because we're going to invite you to the fight. You, Ed McMahon,
right.
You know what I mean? Doc Severinsen, with his golden horn. You know what I mean? And we want you all to be there in bum basket Henry Bushkin.
Oh, yes, that's my
Yes, we
turn.
want you to be all right there at this fight.
Okay.
Against the Baron Hilton and John Giovanco, who's the president.
What would a ringside seat cost?
$500. You know what I mean? But that's a pittance for such a great event when you see the dynamic duo perform, Butch Lewis and myself taking on, putting together with Holmes and Spinks. You know, this is the first time, Johnny, that I can truly say who I'm rooting for because I got a co-promoter named Butch Lewis who has the other fighter named Michael Spinks.
Right. So you're rooting for
Larry Holmes. Yes, and Spinks has 2 chances, Slim and none, and Slim's out of town.
That's bad. Huh? Now, what kind of a purse? You have been responsible, if I understand it, for getting fighters a lot of money because a fighter's career is limited.
Yes.
You know, by the time a fighter is, I guess,
Larry Holmes.
in his late 20s, they say generally, he's on his way down. They say the peak is around 27, 28, and then the good ones may hang on for a few years. So it's limited, but you have gotten them a lot of money, haven't you? Now, what would be the purse for Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks?
Well, they'll be getting millions. Larry will be getting a couple million. And
Couple
Spinks,
million
yes,
bucks.
And because he's the challenger this time, Spinks will be getting around $4 million plus, you know, plus a percentage on the upside or whatever.
$4 million?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Even if he goes out in the first round?
Yes, well, we don't count the time, you know what I mean? We just have to get it, you have to show up. We just want you to show up, you know what I mean, and fight, you know.
$4 million.
Yes, yes.
What's the biggest purse of all time? Is there been bigger purses?
Well, Sugar Ray Leonard has made a $10 million purse, and Muhammad Ali has made a $10 million purse. Holmes and Cooney made $10 million apiece when they fought in the last hurrah in 1982.
Yeah.
So it's been some major purses that have been brought about through my ingenuity and my hustling ability, and that's why I'm here in Hollywood now.
Would you call yourself a hustler?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm from the streets, from the streets to the executive suites, from the uttermost to the government.
See, they don't call the executives at NBC hustlers, but maybe you're right. Everybody hustles in the business, right?
Absolutely. You know, when I went over to the Hilton Hotel, that's the flagship. You know, this is that's in the Las Vegas Hilton there.
Yeah.
The posh, opulence, elegance there is just something for everyone. And if you're lucky, you can become a millionaire. I was just thinking that we had chips set aside for you in case you want to come and play.
House money?
You know what I mean? Yes, you make $5 million or so for all the little doodads you get involved in, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And, you know, it's very costly, you know, so I want you to be able to have some money.
Okay. Well, you are a hustler. We're going to take a break. Stay right where you are. We'll be back with Don King. I want to ask you a question about boxing. I don't want to put you on the defensive, but in recent years, a lot of people have got a little soured on boxing. Even Howard Cosell, who used to cover it, no longer covers it. Because it seems to be, I guess, the only sport in which the idea really is to maim, in a way, or scramble the brains of your opponent. How do you answer? People say, you know, you've heard this hue and cry about people say, we ought to ban boxing. The other side of the coin is, well, it gives a lot of fellows a chance, you know, to be successful, become famous, and so forth. How do you...
Well, boxing comes from a humble bed, and usually the people that come there, it's not an organized sport like many of the other sports that has the power of money to have publicity to give it a good image. You know, boxing comes from the Hollywood image, also with the old movies with Cagney, the late, great James Cagney, and Bogart, you know what I mean? If you don't take a dive in 5, your mother goes. He looks under the towel, he sees the rod, you know what I mean? And so this is what they see all the time.
I didn't know you did impersonations.
You know what I mean? All these type of things. But see, we got guys like Michael Fuchs of HBO, the president of HBO, Seth Abraham, who is the senior vice president of programming. These two guys are innovative and imaginative. So they came to me and Butch Lewis, you know, and they said, we want to put on a heavyweight series to uplift the image of boxing, to put on this series to eliminate the dubiousness out of boxing and bring one heavyweight champion to the fore to the public.
Yeah.
I thought it was a grand idea. So we launched all our efforts, and then we found Baron Hilton. He was the god Zeus.
I remember him. He has a hotel in Las Vegas.
And then he called in a guy named John Giovanco, who was a brilliant guy who has the imaginative mind. He's a mathematician. He worked it all out on the math, the boards, you know, put it into action. And now the flagship is out there again, first and foremost with Bill Cosby. We got our stars back. We're looking for the great stars to come there. We're appealing to all the shakers and the rollers and the high rollers and the movers to come back to the Las Vegas Hilton, because that's the #1 casino hotel in the world. Now we're going to have this series there. This series is going to bring one heavyweight champion. That's going to remove all the doubt about how bad boxing is. You know what I mean? It's going to be great. You know, about brain scrambling.
What was my question?
You were talking about brain being scrambled.
Now, wait a second. Now, you told me a lot of things, Don. But what about when people say it is the only sport in which the idea... People don't want to see self-defense. You know that. It was called The Manly Art of Self-Defense. People don't
The
want to
sweet
see
science.
that. They want to go out there and see somebody really get decked, right?
Yeah, like Mike Tyson does, one after another knocks them out, 18,
That's
19 right in a row. That's the explosive punch that they go to see.
Right.
Now, but you got to understand, in boxing, it's the sweet science.
Yeah,
It's the hit, not get hit, but when you find the big punch, that makes it more exciting.
Yeah, I
But when you find two honed and sharpened athletes in the center of the ring, it's like a virtuoso being played on a Stradivarius violin. You know, sweet, sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what Muhammad Ali was. You know, he was lightning fast. So now these guys didn't always get their brains scrambled. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you look at football and you see Theismann on national TV,
Get his leg, got his
yeah,
leg broke.
or you got to understand that. And you see these guys beating each other inside football, what they showed on HBO. You know what I mean? You find all these different sports that are much more brutal than boxing. But those who don't understand boxing, they don't appreciate it. I'm so happy that you like it, John. You really have come a long way.
Yeah. Where will this fight take place, Don?
It's going to take
Sound
place.
like Bob and Ray. The Komodo Dragon is the largest dragon.
The fabulous oasis
I know
in the
where
desert.
that is, yeah.
The Hilton Hotel, the flagship.
oh.
Baron John Giovanco and I.
Okay. Anyway, we have to take a break here. What?
You can go another minute.
Oh, I thought you said I got to
Man,
go.
don't lose this minute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what, John? I would love to guest host this show. You know what you did?
Yeah.
You took a guy out of Indianapolis, a weatherman named David Letterman.
That's right.
Put him on here, made him a star.
Yeah.
Weatherman, late night with David Letterman.
Yeah.
Then you took another lady whose mouth flowed like a river named Joan Rivers.
Right.
Put her on there, Can We Talk?
Yeah.
Made her a star. You understand?
You'd
Then
like to have this show.
Yeah, I want to just guest host. I want to have it. You the big, you the tree. I'm just a twig on the tree. A leaf picker up. You know what I mean?
Now, Don, do you think you'd be able to talk and fill the time?
I'm gonna work at it. You know, then you took Ed McMahon.
Yeah.
Made him a promoter of a scheme of chance.
Yeah.
And made him a star. Every time you look around, you're getting a leaflet in the mail saying, hey, look at this here. You can win $100 million.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
I got one the other day.
They put me in jail for that.
Okay, we'll be right back.
This video raises questions that I need for you to be extremely honest in the comments when answering them. Just so you know, I have two questions. Number one, do you think Don King was someone worthy of respect? And number two, what question would you ask Don King if given the opportunity? Now, please be honest in the comments when answering these questions. Share this video with anyone you deem necessary. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.